Next song I'll talk about is Small Games. Small Games, I don't know. It's very weird, I know, but for some reason I just really like that one. It's definitely one of my favorites. Um, you know, it's very weird and random sounding. Um, and I wrote it on my 72 organ one time, and the thing about the song that was very like, I've done this before where I like do something that like stretches out my brain and it makes me feel like I'm gonna go crazy. Because the same thing happened with Frostbute. Um, like Frostbute was written in an alternate tuning or alternate transposition, because sometimes I would do that on my keyboard. You could transpose. So I made it like in a different hertz than 440, and I transposed it. So it ended up being like close to C sharp minor for Frostbute. So as a result, like I didn't used to really play that one ever, because I was like, man, I can't play that, like, because I wouldn't really, the way I wrote it was not the way it ended up. And, that caused problems with other people too. Different story for a different day. Like there's this one jazz guy who was like not liking that it was in C sharp minor, but, Small Games was similar, where my 72 organ's got a thing under it that you can push with your leg, and it makes it tune down a half step. So when I first wrote Small Games, I wrote it in E major, but when I heard it, it sounded like E flat major because of that flipper thing down there that I had moved with my leg. So then when I actually wanted to record it, I was like, I don't want it to be an E, even though that's how I know how to play it. So I had to think of, I just transposed the whole thing down to E flat, because I was like, that's how it's going to be. So it was a little bit crazy to do that, but that's how it had to be. And it was really fun to record. I have to say that was the best one of all to record. It was just like, I think I definitely laughed, and I just like, it was funny to me for some reason. Like I wanted that part in there that sounded kind of like, kind of like a maybe like gospel church. Because the story about that is, I went to this church one time that had music like that when I was 13, and I always thought that was cool, like the kind of music that's got like that kind of clapping on like 2 and 4, like. And I wanted to have something like that. I always wanted to write a song like that, and that was the time when it worked. And I don't know if it sounds like so horrible, but I try to do that. It's also based off of like Unclassified, which is one of the most awesome albums in the world. And there you go. That was fun. Small Games.